Hello there.
What's going on today, guys? It's Ellie Moses. I'm a 21-year-old law and film student here in Sydney, Australia, trying to make my way in the YouTube universe. So hopefully you guys can tag along, join the ship, join my fellow chat pirates and fellow subscribers as we make our way through the YouTube galaxy and have some fun examining some pop culture content. So today we are continuing with our examination of Godzilla vs Kong. I have seen the film twice now. I saw it Wednesday night at a preview screening here, and then again Thursday night with all of my friends. I thoroughly enjoyed the film. However, I still have my issues with it. It's not a flawless film, but the monster action is let alone worth the price of admission for it, and I can't wait for you guys in America and other countries in the world, such as the UK as well, to see it and finally get to experience these two titans collide in a battle for the ages. But today I'll be discussing my top 5 best and most disappointing moments from Godzilla vs Kong. Just letting you know, this is going to be very spoiler heavy territory as I am discussing my favorite moments and most disappointing moments. I'm not going to include any videos from trailers or any new TV spot footage in this video, so if I am going to spoil some points, but I'm just going to show some screenshots. I'm not going to show any videos as I don't want you guys to know how the film plays out or how certain scenes played out. I want you to go to experience that in a theater or whatever you're watching it at home on any streaming service. I'm not going to spoil that, as I know some people have been spoiling the film online and showing major spoilers in terms of leaking full clips of certain elements of the third act in the film. I'm not going to do that. I just want you guys to enjoy this video and watch me break down my top 5 best and most disappointing moments from the film. And I'm also going to have a video coming out within the next few days on me ranking all the MonsterVerse films and a live stream on Godzilla vs Kong with a series I do called Flicks and Bricks, where I build Lego and discuss pop culture or anything related to film. I'm going to be talking Godzilla vs Kong in terms of its box office and certain review bombing news that's come out. But today, top 5 best, worst moments or most disappointing moments of Godzilla vs Kong. Let's get right into it. This is in no particular order now. Going into the top 5 moments, I'm going to start off with the Godzilla vs Kong Hong Kong battle. That is absolutely spectacular to see in action. The monster action is absolutely fantastic. The scene fantastically well lit with the neon lighting as well, and even the build up to the Hong Kong battle, certain elements the Titans do, just sort of like their intimidation stances. Kong pounds on the floor, Godzilla just roars. There's certain, like, I believe like that scene gives more personality to the Titans than usually. There's one scene in particular with Godzilla where he knocks Kong and he completely smiles. He has this menacing smile. I've never seen that type of personality with Godzilla, like in terms of like, yeah, I got you, I got you. But yeah, there's a lot of personality given to the Titans in terms of especially before the climactic moment in terms of determining the winner, where Kong is crawling away from Godzilla and you can see the fear in his face because Godzilla had hurt him before with the atomic breath, and Kong is just crawling away rapidly. And yeah, that battle is let alone just worth the price of admission. Like, it's 5 minutes of them two Titans just absolutely beating the crap out of each other. There's one scene where it cuts to, like, it's like a iconic homage scene to Kong or King Kong on top of a building, just hanging off it, and he's hanging off it with a crane in the other hand, and he just, it's like, what the heck, man, this is so badass. It's Kong holding a crane, and he just chucks the crane at Godzilla to sort of distract him, and then he jumps on Godzilla's back. It's absolutely phenomenal, and that's where Godzilla sort of gets the upper hand. There are 2 moments that sort of piss off Godzilla. It's when Kong hits him with the axe, and then Kong actually stabs Godzilla with the axe. This is the first time I've ever seen Godzilla in any live action MonsterVerse film actually get pierced through his skin. I mean, he's basically immune to nuclear blast, but Kong actually pierced through his skin, and I really enjoyed the Hong Kong battle. It's absolutely badass. And then obviously that leads on to the Mecha Godzilla battle when he bursts out of the mountain. I mean, you've seen that in the first trailer. And then yeah, them 2 Titans absolutely, them 3 Titans, or if you classify Mecha Godzilla as a Titan, absolutely beating the crap out of each other. But that night scene in terms of Hong Kong, Godzilla vs Kong alone is worth the price of admission. Absolutely amazing. The special effects are amazing in that scene. The sound design, wow, it is riveting. There's certain points. I know I've seen it twice now, and I should be able to remember this. But there are certain points in that battle where the music cuts out, and it's just bang, bang, bang. Like you can feel the like oomph of their shots, and it's just like building up the building falling over. But it's absolutely amazing to watch, and my friends I watched it with were having a blast. I know my little cousins had a blast when I saw it with them the night before. It's absolutely amazing. Now that leads on to my next favorite moments. My second favorite moment, or second favorite thing about Godzilla vs Kong is the special effects. The special effects in this film are absolutely amazing. I mean, when you come to think about the Snyder Cut, or in terms of Warner Brothers Justice League costing around $700 million now, compared to the $160 to $200 million budget of this film looks absolutely spectacular, especially when there's a lot of individual Titan scenes in this film. Now, I said in my review, there's 80% of this film, I think a good 70%, I'll say a good 70% of scenes in this film involve a Titan in them, whether it's just Kong interacting with the humans, Kong fighting Godzilla, or Kong exploring the Hollow Earth. There's a lot of special effects to go when you have 70% of the film involving a Titan, and I said in my review, Kong is the heart and soul of this film. So to have Kong in 70% of the scenes in this film, that's a lot of VFX work, and interacting with humans as well. It's absolutely fantastic. And also when it's just the Titans interacting with each other, to, I guess, render that CGI landscape, and it just looks amazing. It looks photorealistic. Yeah, I can't complain about the special effects. The Hollow Earth looks absolutely amazing. There's so many scenes where the colors and vibrancy of the Hollow Earth, the greens, the blues, it looks absolutely fantastic. And that ties into my third favorite thing, or best moment of Godzilla vs Kong, is the Hollow Earth. There's so much to explore the Hollow Earth. It's absolutely massive. Like, I'm going to tie in the Hollow Earth and the special effects together. The vast landscape, the rendering of the CGI is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't look at all out of place. It blends in well with the humans. It blends in well with the environment. The whole environment is rendered well. Not just, for instance, Kong in particular, when he's interacting with certain environments in the Hollow Earth. Everything is rendered fantastic. Even with Skull Island, I know they've used a lot of real locations. I think it was in Hawaii. But when blending in with the CGI environments, it looks absolutely fantastic. The Hollow Earth looks absolutely mesmerizing. They did a fantastic job at rendering other Titans. We get a glimpse at other certain aspects within the Hollow Earth, other sort of live creatures in there. And yeah, there's so much to explore in the Hollow Earth, and I really hope they do explore other elements of that in other films, because we've only touched the tip of the iceberg with exploring the Hollow Earth in this film. And yeah, everything from the special effects with the Hollow Earth, to the special effects of the aircraft carrier scene, to Skull Island, to the Antarctic, to just Kong himself, to Godzilla himself, to the Mechagodzilla fight, to the Hong Kong battle, Godzilla in the water. There's so many fantastic shots in this film. There's shots I remember very reminiscent of Pacific Rim, with Godzilla going into the water at night and his dorsal plate sticking out and he's just glowing blue. It's very akin to Pacific Rim in sort of how the kaiju in that film sort of glow blue as well. They have that blue outlining. It's very similar to that. There's some fantastic shots in this film. Now, another thing I really enjoyed this film is the sound design. The sound design is absolutely riveting. I remember my friend, before seeing this film, I'm like, I don't want it to spoil too much, bro. I just want to let you know something. The sound design is absolutely amazing in this film. And I remember coming out, and the first thing he mentioned to me was that sound design was epic. And yes, the sound design is absolutely amazing. They definitely nailed it out of the park with from the Godzilla roar to the Kong roar to the absolutely just blending it in with the action that's happening. The sound design is absolutely amazing. Although I was let down with one particular thing with the sound design, and that's just the inconsistency of Godzilla's roar and how loud it was at certain points. I remember the 2014 Godzilla placing a massive emphasis on his roar and showing that gravitas, especially when he comes out of the lightning and the smoke and he roars, and even with the airport scene when it zooms up and he's roared. I remember seeing that in theaters, like, wow, Godzilla's roar is amazing. In this film, it's a bit inconsistent. In some scenes, it does it does, I guess, follow up on the 2014 film. But however, in some scenes, I remember there's one particular scene where Godzilla and Kong are roaring at each other. That's when Godzilla prevails. He sort of stomps on Kong and they roar at each other. His voice, his roar is absolutely pulsating. It's loud. However, then Kong equals that. And I think the Godzilla roar should have just been a bit more louder. There are some scenes where I'm just like, oh, the Godzilla roar just sounds a bit quiet here. But that doesn't take away from the amazing sound design in this film. Everything from the Kong roar, Kong at night. Even there's one scene where this is where Godzilla gets the better of Kong in the I'm trying to remember. I think it's the aircraft carrier scene. Yes, Godzilla gets the better of Kong by dragging him down to the ocean, and then obviously the humans intervene, and then Kong gets back on the aircraft carrier, and then Kong coughs and basically spills all this water because he was obviously drowning, has all this water in his lungs, and he coughs. And even the sound design in that is amazing. It's just they went through, you can tell they went through amazing lengths to basically nail the sound design. Yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. And I said before, now my fifth and final favorite thing about this film is, I'm not going to lie, might be surprised about this, is actually Gia, the little girl. And even I think they really nailed it out of the park in terms of her relationship with Kong. And for a child actor, she's actually really good in this film. She's deaf in the film, so they use this unique sort of effect with the sound when she's interacting with Kong. So for instance, there's one scene at night where Gia is going out by herself on the aircraft carrier and it's pouring rain, and the sound completely cuts out and all you can hear is Kong's heartbeat, because that's all Gia can hear is Kong's heartbeat because she's deaf. And they do this unique effect, I think 2 or 3 times in the film, where it completely blocks out all the sound and all you can hear is Kong's heartbeat. And she can also hear Godzilla's sort of roar in the ocean as well. That's how she sort of realizes there's danger looming, when she feels the ship and she hears that Godzilla roar, the iconic Godzilla sort of roar. And then yeah, that's when the danger is alerted. They do this great special effect of her, but her performance is great in the film, and sort of that unique bond she has with Kong is absolutely fantastic. She's really the best human character in this film. Even credit to Alexander Skarsgård and Rebecca Hall. I felt that that trio with Gia, Alexander Skarsgård, and Rebecca Hall is actually great in the film. I didn't mind that human element. I thought it was fine. I thought it was really good. The Kong humans in this film, especially that trio, is great. I really wish the film really focused on that trio as the pinnacle, or sort of the focal point of that film, instead of cutting away to other human segments. And I'll get that to my I'll get into that in my most disappointing moments. But yes, that human element with Gia, Alexander Skarsgård, and Rebecca Hall, there was this funny sort of payoff where they're doing sign language at the beginning of the film, and she's like, Gia's like, oh, he's a coward or something. It's like something like, and it means coward. And Alexander Skarsgård like, I was like, oh, what does that mean? And Rebecca was just like, she's just saying you're really brave. And then at the end of the film, Alexander Skarsgård goes up to her and she's like, you're really brave, but it says coward. I was just like, oh, that's it was a nice, neat payoff. That was a really great humorous scene. Yeah, I really thought the Kong humans in this film were absolutely fine, good, really good. I wish they were a focal point of the film. Now, hopefully you guys are enjoying the video. Trying to do this one take, so off the bat, no cutaways. I'm just trying to provide my unique thoughts and from memory instead of having to go back. But yes, let's move on to the most disappointing moment of Godzilla vs Kong. The first thing I want to mention, which is probably my most disappointing thing of this film, is the Team Godzilla humans in this film. Now, there is no really Team Godzilla in this film, as there is really no human interactions with Godzilla. Godzilla just does as he pleases in this film. He's his own badass character, shows up when he wants, absolutely steals the screen when he's on screen. But the Godzilla humans, or the Godzilla Team Godzilla humans, where they're trying to prove that Godzilla's actions aren't right by tying it in, sort of not Godzilla's actions aren't right, by saying that Godzilla's actions, there's more to it. There's something behind it in sort of investigating Apex, that goes into Millie Bobby Brown, Julian Dennison, and Brian Tyree Henry's character. Carl Chandler's character is nowhere to be seen in this film. He's in it for about 5 minutes. He does absolutely nothing. He has a few interactions with Millie Bobby Brown in terms of like disagreeing with her over Godzilla's motives, and then at the end he shows up to do the usual happy fairy tale hug with his daughter, just saying, oh, thank God you're alive. But yeah, that's about it. But the Godzilla Teen Godzilla humans in this film I found absolutely shocking. I wish, and that's just 50-50. That human element in the film completely ruined a lot of points for me. In terms of just, there was a bunch of lazy writing involving them and a few comedic moments that didn't hit. Julian Dennison's character didn't need to be in the film. Millie Bobby Brown's character really didn't need to be in the film. Maybe you could have focused on Brian Tyree Henry's character as sort of this podcast on conspiracy theorists trying to investigate Apex from the inside, because he is a worker in Apex in the film. Maybe you could have explored that a little bit more, just focus on him. But I rather would have gone with the whole Team Godzilla being wiped out of the film and just having Team Kong being a focal point in the film and the focal point in general throughout the whole film, because Alexander Skarsgård is hired by the bad guys, sort of Ren Sarazara, and I forgot the villain Damien Bashir's character from Apex. He's hired by them to extract a certain source of energy from the Hollow Earth. So you could have had that play out with Alexander Skarsgård's character unveiling the bad side of Apex. You didn't need the other trio of Team Godzilla. They were completely useless, and the writing surrounding them was completely lazy. Like them storming an Apex facility with like completely no security, them being transported from like that. I'll get to that soon. Actually, I don't want to talk about that, but yeah, there's so much lazy writing involving them, and it's just like they completely didn't need to be in the film. Millie Bobby Brown was really annoying in this film. She tried to come off as sort of imposing in some scenes. I'm just like, no, get out of here, man. Like, yeah, there's so much lazy writing involving their characters, and I'll get to that soon. But yes, another bad thing in this film, or I found, it's not bad, I just found really disappointing and let down by, is the world building and mythology. The film, I guess this will tie into another disappointing in the film. So I'm gonna tie in the mythology and world building to another thing I had with another thing I found disappointing was a lot of unexplained plot points. Now I'm gonna tie in the world building and mythology quickly with the film does brush over a lot of things that have happened in the events, and although I find the title crawl extremely cool in terms of like sort of this like Champions League or sort of like this tournament like structure where the final brackets lead to Godzilla vs Kong, the film just goes through the other titans from King of the Monsters as sort of like defeated, and I'm just like, what happened to those titans? It was said to be 17 titans and counting in King of the Monsters. Did Godzilla just lay waste to all of them? There's no line of dialogue explaining that. Yeah, I just would have liked an explanation to that. Maybe they've gone into hiding, or maybe they're still being tracked. Yeah, there's just not much explanation. Like, what happened to Rodan? What happened to the Mothra egg? Like, there's no explanation to that. It seems like the focal point of this film was to get to the Godzilla vs Kong action. These two titans are the one remaining. However, there's no explanation as to what happens to the other ones. There were so many titans bowing to Godzilla at the end of King of the Monsters. We have no idea what happened to them. There's little explanation in terms of the mythology, in terms of Godzilla vs Kong, in terms of their ancient rivalry. We are told in the movie there was an ancient rivalry. However, we're not sort of told how that plays out. There's a few cave paintings shown, but that's in the opening title crawl. There's not much beyond that. We're just told that, and that's leading on to my in terms of unexplained plot points. There's a lot unexplained in terms of like, there's a throwaway line explaining what happened to the Iwis in the film, and Rebecca Hall's character says they were wiped out by a storm, and Gia's character, or Gia, was the only one left, and Kong saved her. However, that's not, I don't sort of buy into that. Like, an ancient species, or an ancient civilization, sorry, as such as the Iwi, who have survived numerous sort of millennia, we don't know how many centuries, but we know they've been there for a long time on Skull Island with Kong's parents, with Kong, with the multiple other titans, the skull crawlers, the sort of massive squid-like creature. I don't think they would be wiped out by a storm. I'm sure there have been multiple storms in the lifetime of Skull Island that they would have survived. I don't see them being wiped out by a storm. I think they're smart enough to survive that if they've survived for so long with all these other species. But yeah, I didn't buy into that. There's throwaway lines in terms of, there's poor plot points. There's, especially revolving the Millie Bobby Brown and human element. Like, they travel, there's sort of this underground tunnel system that leads throughout the whole world. For instance, there's like an underground tunnel system from Apex that travels like nearly, I don't know how fast, but these like pod like things that travel from Florida to Hong Kong, the main facility. I was just like, what the heck? There's like legal and government ramifications towards that. There's like no dialogue explanation of how Apex managed to build these, and there's like their Antarctic facility as well, which is the Hollow Earth facility, and they have a direct line to the Hollow Earth. They've built this massive infrastructure, which I guess Monarch had no idea when they had their Antarctic facility in King of the Monsters. They had no idea of the Apex Hollow Earth facility, and I don't know why they needed Alexander Skarsgård character to get to the Hollow Earth when they had the vehicles ready. They could have just gone there themselves and explored it to extract the energy, but I have no idea. There are unexplained plot points. I'm trying to remember. Oh yes, regarding Mechagodzilla. This is probably the most disappointing. Mechagodzilla goes rogue in this film. It's sort of like a Transformers Age of Extinction, where Galvatron becomes self-aware and the humans are not able to control him, because basically Mechagodzilla is piloted by Rancel Zora. It's sort of like a drift. He's uplinked to the system through King Ghidorah's brain. It's similar to Pacific Rim, were drifting with a kaiju. And then Mechagodzilla goes rogue, and how Mechagodzilla is defeated in this film is a lot of human involvement. Now, I would have liked Mechagodzilla to be defeated by Kong and Godzilla teaming up, doing some cool moves, or sort of having them to work together to defeat him. Although they do work together to defeat him, a human involvement was key to turning the tides in that battle, because Mechagodzilla was beating the living hell out of both of them. He beat the living hell out of Godzilla, then Kong was revived. Kong had his sort of offense, and then Mechagodzilla got the better of him, and he was about to drill into Kong when Julian Dennison all of a sudden was trying to hack in the system. Well, Mechagodzilla went self-aware. Hacking the system, or sort of, you're not going to override him. So they're locked out of the system, and then he pours alcohol all over the control panel, and it completely disables Mechagodzilla for a split second. That enables Godzilla to charge the axe with the atomic breath, and then Kong basically mauls him and decapitates him. But humans really pouring alcohol all over a control panel for a monster that just became self-aware and is completely piloting himself, I have no idea. Monarch is really useless in the film as well. A lot of unexplained plot points in terms of transporting Kong. There's the power of cutaways in this film. There's the power of cutaways, which is used a lot. The power of scene cutting. There's a scene where they need to transport Kong from Skull Island to the aircraft carrier. It just cuts away. He goes from Skull Island to the aircraft carrier. He's just there asleep. We need to get Kong from the aircraft carrier to Antarctica. Cuts away to a bunch of, I forgot what they're called, ospreys carrying Kong. There we go. It just cuts away a lot. There's a few cutaways, and there's a lot of unexplained things with how they built this massive infrastructure on Skull Island surrounding Kong. Like, I don't think Kong would have allowed a bunch of humans to go to Skull Island and build this massive infrastructure around him. I mean, we saw in Skull Island at the end, when the humans and the helicopters are coming to rescue our main characters, Kong was roaring. He really dislikes people toying with his island. So I wouldn't have thought he would have allowed humans to completely do an excavation of the island and build this massive infrastructure. And there's no explanation to how they sort of sedated him to be enclosed within this structure. I mean, the structure is on Skull Island, but yeah, we have no explanation to how they sort of tamed him or sort of sedated him to build this massive infrastructure around him. Although it's cool to look at, there's really little explanation towards it. It's more style over substance in terms of that point. But that's just a few of the unexplained plot points. There are multiple more, such as like the casualties. They don't delve into the casualties of Hong Kong. I mean, Hong Kong is basically null and void at this point. It's absolutely decimated. I mean, building after building was falling. There's a massive sinkhole that leads straight into the Hollow Earth. Godzilla basically uses atomic breath to go straight into the Hollow Earth with his atomic breath. There's a massive hole in Hong Kong at the moment. But this leads me on to another thing. I was really disappointed in the film. I can't trying to grasp around it. It was disappointing and really inconsistent was the scale. The scale of this film is really off-putting. Like considering that Kong is meant to be. This is mainly relating to Godzilla, mainly relating to Kong, not Godzilla. The scale in this film regarding to Kong is really inconsistent because Kong is meant to be over 100 meters tall in this film, and the Hollow Earth facility Apex has built completely dwarfs Kong. These buildings are like 300 meters tall, like they triple the size of Kong. And Kong is absolutely dwarfed in some scenes, especially when he enters sort of like the tunnels to lead into the Hollow Earth, and he's just swinging and swinging. And these tunnels are absolutely massive and constructed by humans, and they dwarf Kong. He looks absolutely tiny. Even when Kong sort of enters the ancestral chambers, where he gets his axe, he looks completely dwarfed. The stairs are massive towards it. I just thought the scale was really off-putting in those scenes, and I thought Kong in Skull Island being 30 meters himself looked bigger in that film than some scenes in this film with Kong. I mean, I didn't see much of an upgrade with Kong in particular scenes with humans until he was fighting Godzilla in the Hong Kong battle. The scale in that battle was pretty good most of the time, but however, in some scenes, Kong is completely, as I said before, not much bigger than his counterpart, or would it seem bigger than his counterpart, or what he was in Skull Island. Skull Island did a great job at making Kong look massive, and he was only 30 meters in this film, but in some scenes in this film, Kong is absolutely dwarfed. There are some mountain peaks that look kilometers long compared to what you see Kong is, and that's just, I had gripes with the scaling in this film. It's completely off. My final most disappointing thing about Godzilla vs Kong, guys, it's not a specific element in the film, however it does ruin moments within the film, and that is the marketing. Once you see this film and you've seen as many TV spots as I have seen, stay away from the TV spots. This is a major warning. Stay away from any of the TV spots in this film. There are TV spots coming out left, right, and center showing full scenes of Godzilla fighting Kong fighting the Warbat, Godzilla and Kong extended sort of sequences in the Hong Kong battle. Stay away from that. The marketing in this film really didn't hurt my experience. My experience was fine. I mean, I viewed the trailers on my phone or computer. Seeing it on the big screen in theaters didn't hurt that, but the marketing does spoil a lot of elements in this film, and it did spoil the winner. The marketing does spoil the winner. With Godzilla, there's a marketing shot of Godzilla roaring on top of Kong, and that spoils the winner, because that's the scene where Godzilla steps on Kong's chest after completely mauling him, and he roars at him, and that's the scene. They spoiled that. They have a tendency to show a lot, and they did. The marketing does show a lot. There are scenes in the first trailer that are taken from the final shots of the film, where Kong is roaring and sort of like, as badass as it was with Kong's dislocated shoulder, banging it to the building, and it's sort of scrumming up the pain. That's one of the final shots in the film. Godzilla roaring. There's like a panning shot of Godzilla roaring. That's the final shot. That's like one of the final shots where they sort of face off before Godzilla goes into the water and Kong and Godzilla part ways. And there's some shots with Kong in the Hollow Earth that are directly taken from the final few moments of the film. And yes, the marketing is really poor, and don't watch any of the TV spots. The TV spots absolutely spoil a lot, and you'll go into this film thinking, I've seen that scene already. I'm waiting for this scene to happen. It's like, I haven't seen that scene. Oh, that must be the ending. Wait, that was a ending shot in the trailer? But yeah, there you go. I've been rambling on for 28 minutes straight, non-stop, and I think I've really done this well. But that's been my top 5 most disappointing and favorite moments from Godzilla vs Kong. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you've enjoyed the effort put into this video, it wouldn't hurt to help the YouTube algorithm out, and subscribe to the channel if you guys like it and you like the content. Hoping you guys have enjoyed this video. It's been a long one, but I've been rambling on, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I enjoyed Godzilla vs Kong. Go out and see it, guys. There's more Godzilla vs Kong content coming along. I'm going to milk the crap out of it. I'm going to milk the crap out of it. My channel's been doing well because of the Godzilla vs Kong content. I'm going to abuse the early release we got in Australia. But thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. It's been fun doing this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's been Ellie Moses. Take care. God bless and peace.